A god isn't always someone you worship. Sometimes a god is just the person you're too afraid to question. And in the sky-bound land of Skypiea, fear wore the face of Enel. This arc is often brushed aside. A strange, floating island, a self-proclaimed lightning god, and a golden city lost to time. But what if I told you? Skypiea might be the most important philosophical arc in One Piece. Because here Oda doesn't just tell a story, he asks a question. What happens to a people who surrender their will to a false god? Enel calls himself a god not because he is one, but because no one dares to say otherwise. He rules not with compassion or wisdom, but with lightning. His voice is law, his punishment is divine, and his people, they bow. Not out of faith, but survival. That's the first tragedy of Skypiea. The moment when belief is replaced by fear. This is what Rousseau warned us about. When power is concentrated in one person's hands, and people accept it as the way things are, tyranny becomes tradition. No one remembers how it started. No one dares imagine how it ends. Until someone from below punches a god in the face. Luffy doesn't care about divine titles. He doesn't care about heavenly threats or ancient rituals. Enel says, I am God. Luffy says, I don't care. It's not rebellion out of principle, it's not ideology. It's something deeper. It's innocence, it's clarity, it's freedom. Where Enel floats above others like a deity, Luffy stands beside people. He never asks to be followed. He simply acts. That is true leadership. In this arc, Luffy becomes not just the enemy of a god, he becomes the defender of human will. Despite his immense power, Enel builds nothing. No community, no love, no legacy. He only destroys. Even his goal, to return to the fairy Earth, is rooted in fantasy. A god running away from the very world he rules. It mirrors real-world tyrants, those who gain power not to heal or build, but to fill a void inside themselves. And when power is a mask for fear, every act of domination becomes a cry for control. Enel calls his lightning divine, but it never brings light, only silence. Then there's the Shandians, a tribe whose history was erased, their god replaced, their land stolen. They don't just fight Enel, they fight forgetfulness. Their war is not one of conquest, it's one of memory. We were here first. They scream it through every act of resistance. And in doing so, they remind us, freedom isn't given, it remembered. When Luffy's fist finally lands on Enel, it's more than a punch, it's a declaration. Your fear no longer controls us. The citizens don't cheer immediately. They just watch, silent, shocked. Because in that moment, something impossible happened. Skypiea isn't a side quest, it's a warning about what happens when we stop asking questions. When we let fear dress up as holiness. When we bow too low for too long and forget we were ever standing. Enel wanted to be God, but he never ruled hearts. Luffy didn't want to be king, but he reminded people they had souls. So the next time someone says, this is divine, this is absolute, ask them this: who gave you the right? And more importantly, why are you so afraid of freedom?